What's up, everybody? It's Strings and Sweaters. And to get ready for these upcoming Stadium Series games, I thought I would do a tier list of all the Stadium Series jerseys ever made. Let's get into this. Let's get into these Stadium Series jerseys. There's a lot of jerseys to rank in our tier list. All right, let's talk about our first and earliest Stadium Series game. We had the Penguins and the Blackhawks, and I actually have this Penguins Stadium Series jersey in my collection for now. As you can see, the crest is just destroyed on it because of the material they used in the crest for all of these early Stadium Series jerseys, which I'll be talking about. As you can see, I'll give you a close-up. But this jersey probably will not be permanently in my collection as it is so badly damaged. I am actually brought this back from my parents' house because I'm planning on doing maybe a little video where I create I craft my own jersey for my band. So I'm thinking of maybe altering that jersey, maybe taking the crest off that you saw was damaged and putting my band's logo on it. But we'll see. That'll be for a future video. But let's just talk about these early Stadium Series jerseys and put them in their respective tier. So we had that Pittsburgh Penguins one that you just saw. Now this jersey, it was one of the last Penguins jerseys that used their Vegas gold color in a different new way. And growing up, I actually really liked it. I really liked the accents that Vegas gold gives to it. The only drawback to it is just that flashy, reflective crest material they added onto it. It just bubbles up. It doesn't last long. You can't really find these jerseys in decent quality anywhere on eBay or online. So yeah, major stinker for that, because these jerseys don't have any sort of like value to them or sustainability, because the crests just bubble like crazy on them. I also think the crests are kind of ugly. They're like this shiny, reflective material with no depth. They kind of remind me of what Fanatics is doing right now. It's not great. This is definitely one of Reebok's biggest blunders in the Reebok era. So this Penguins jersey specifically, docking it points based on that crest bubble and the material that's on the crest. I do love the color scheme. I love the striping. I love the striping on the sleeves of it. It's so unique, and it's the last iteration of that, Vegas gold the Penguins have used. I would love to see that Vegas gold get brought back in some sort of reverse retro type jersey, Winter Classic type jersey, or something. I'm gonna put this in our C tier, which is pretty generous for these early Stadium Series jerseys. All right, now let's talk about who the Penguins played in this 2014 Stadium Series, and it is the Blackhawks. And this Blackhawks featured the same type of shiny logo. It was just their normal logo on a black base. Now, I will say the Blackhawks have not used their black base in a jersey template in a long time, and fans are begging for it. They want a new Blackhawks jersey that has the black. And I agree. I think it's one of the best looks for the Blackhawks is the black base with the red and white stripes. This jersey, though, looking at it, the stripes are awkward. They don't go all the way around the sleeve. They kind of just sit on the top half of the sleeve. Also, the strings on the neckline are these two ridiculous horizontal strings that maybe if they were done for Adidas would look futuristic, but look like crap with these Reebok, with the technology the Reebok had at the time. This jersey, not a fan at all of this one. I'm going to put this in our F tier. All right, moving on to our next 2014 Stadium Series game. We had the Los Angeles Kings versus the Ducks. Let's talk about this Kings jersey. All right, so this Kings jersey, it basically features their alternate crest with the crown. I like the shoulder patch, or not shoulder patch. I like the shoulder yoke on it, how it comes down in this kind of like trapezoidal shape. I like the striping on the sleeves and the striping on the waist. I just know how bubbly this crest is going to be after a few wears. It's going to be just absolutely destroyed. I don't really love the reflective material on it either. I'm going to put this with the Penguins jersey in the C tier because it's pretty good, but what are you going to do about the crest material? It is not for me. All right, and let's move on to the Ducks. Now, this Ducks jersey, this is just, oh my gosh. It's the logo is huge. It's that shiny, tacky material again, and you get these two horizontal strings for the collar. I don't know. I guess the only thing I could say good about this jersey is that it uses the duck orange as its backdrop color. But, man, this is a stinker. I'm going to put this in my F tier. All right, moving on to the 2014 Rangers versus Devils Stadium Series game. And we have, for the Devils, they're using their red, white, and green jersey format with this shiny material as their crest. And I actually think the Devils logo is not as harshly affected by this sort of reflective material. It doesn't look as bad on the red NJ. And I love the Devils green that they have in their color template. I love any jersey that uses that. Their alternate that they released a few years ago with the white and green looked great. And this is it. This is a great jersey. I'm actually going to move this up above all these early stadium series jerseys, and I'm going to put this jersey in the B tier. All right, and now moving on to the Rangers in the 2014 Stadium Series game. All right, so for this Rangers Stadium Series jersey, we have this reflective material, but it's actually now not in a crest. It's in word mark that goes diagonally down, and it says New York. The striping is in kind of the Lady Liberty diagonal on the lower half of the sleeve. You have that Rangers crest as a shoulder patch, and you have this cool collar striping there. I think that the crest here, or the New York, is very, very mildly affected by the crappy material that Reebok decided to use here. So I can't dock it on that. I think this would actually hold up pretty well too after a while. The only thing I don't love is it uses the same trapezoidal kind of shoulder yoke as the last jersey we talked about, and I hate it on this Rangers Stadium Series. It does not fit the Rangers jersey at all. They shouldn't have shoulder yoke like that. The Rangers have always had, very specific classic shoulder yoke, and I really do not like this shoulder yoke that is on this jersey. Other than that, it's actually a really decent jersey. I'm going to put this in our C tier. All right, moving on. We had another 2014 Stadium Series game. We had the Rangers, which I'm pretty sure they wore the same jersey, but they played the New York Islanders. And let's take a look at this New York Islanders Stadium Series jersey. And whoo, it is something. It is something. So we have this not only shiny material that Reebok was using, but we have this really crappy graphic, like metallic shine border around NY, and it's NY's. It's the Islanders' worst logo they have. The shoulders are ridiculously big on it. The shoulder yoke. The stripes are okay, but they don't go around the whole sleeve. I I don't know. I don't know. I can't really spot out anything with this jersey that's redeeming. This is going to go in our F tier. Moving on. All right, we are now in the year 2015. This is the second year the Stadium Series is brought back, but just for one game. And we have the San Jose Sharks versus the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings decide to go back to their normal logo for this game. It's going to be the LA Crest logo, and they have chose a very, very odd striping for this jersey. The numbers are holy moly huge on the sleeves here. Like, they look like they're a foot long. That's insane. Also, the striping pattern for the collar just looks ridiculous on these. The only thing I give these credit for is that black kind of like torso stripe that extends around the waist or around the torso and then into the sleeves looks really sharp. I like that gray, black, and white, and then you have a black small line at the very bottom of the hem and that black and white on the collar, even though the collar, I can't even describe what kind of shape is going on with that. It's just such a ridiculous collar. I'm going to put these jerseys in the D tier. All right, and versus the Kings in the Coors Light Stadium Series was the San Jose Sharks, and the San Jose Sharks had the same exact template for the collar. That thing is ugly, man. Oh my gosh. But, I mean, the colors are nice. I like the logo. It's probably the Sharks' best logo that they've had. I like somewhat of the striping design, even though it's a little bit lackluster, being just these three colors and almost the same striping pattern that the Kings used. The numbers, again, are gigantic on this jersey. I will say that the orange from the hockey stick and the logo being moved on to the outer rim of the collar neckline actually looks really good. Big fan of that. But other than that, these jerseys, they're really awkward looking. They have just, I don't know what template that Reebok had pulled out of the closet to use for these two, but this was not the best looking Stadium Series in 2015. So I'm going to also put these in the D tier. Moving on to 2016. All right, for 2016, we had the Colorado Avalanche jersey, and it was a big year to try out something new, which is putting some random numbers or whatever this is on the collar. Both teams, and not to give away the next team, but both teams tried some weird stuff on the collar, and I really don't know what that was about. But the Colorado Avalanche have put the number 5280 on the collar. All right, I'm glad I looked that up. 5280 is going to be Denver's altitude, which is actually a kind of a cool thing to show on a jersey. But I don't know about putting it on your collar, just standing out and making the whole thing become asymmetrical. But let's talk about the crest on this jersey. I love that if Reebok is finally doing these Stadium Series some justice with the crest having multiple layers of stitching, having good colors used, not reflective crappy material being used. It's just a good crest. And we have this really interesting striping pattern with this long blue sleeve and then going into this gray and then back into their maroon. So I actually really like this jersey. I like that the crest is their flag, the C, and it has basically a black hockey puck in the middle, which is a really cool little Easter egg there. I'm going to put this jersey into my C tier just because I think it's interesting, but it's just not, it didn't come together. It has a little bit of an ugly duckling feel to me. All right, and versus the Colorado Avalanche, we have the Red Wings, and we have this use of this D logo crest on here, and this is one of the best crests the Red Wings have used as an alternate crest. Unfortunately, though, they had to match the Colorado Avalanche in that weird collar thingy going on, and they wrote Red Wings on the collar like we didn't know what team it was. What are we doing? Now, I will say the diagonal striping that comes across the chest is probably one of the coolest stripings we've seen a team use for a jersey. I love how it continues onto the bottom sleeve. This jersey is really, really a sight to behold, and it is a collector's item for many. We're going to put this jersey into the S tier. How could we not? Even though it does say Red Wings on the collar, I'm not going to negate a point for that. This is just such an iconic Red Wings jersey in their collection. All right, moving on. We have the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Minnesota Wild. So, Minnesota Wild, starting off with them. This is a very, very nice Stadium Series jersey. It's not trying to do too much. It's sticking closely to their home jersey, except we have the larger numbers, the larger stripes. This actually reminds me a lot of what the New York Rangers did this year for their Stadium Series jersey. And I give them credit. This is a sharp jersey. It looks good. I really can't take away anything from it. Yeah, this is just a solid jersey. We're going to put this one in the A tier. The only thing I could maybe take away from it is that the collar oddly leaks into the torso of the jersey, making this weird kind of V shape. But other than that, that's just the Reebok template. I think this jersey would look great if they brought it back as an Adidas or Fanatics in the future. All right, and then versus the Wild, we had the Blackhawks, and they, again, went with the previous year's odd collar stripe thing addition. It's so weird. It looks like something that, like, a revolutionary general would have on his collar. I don't know what to even think of this, but it's got some stars there. I'm guessing these stars represent their Stanley Cups or something like that. Just seems like at this point we're just trying to find anything random to put on this odd template where there is a very asymmetrical stripe on the collar. But I really love this jersey either way. I really like the black shoulder yoke and then how we have the two black stripes. But wait, we got cheeky there. We did a red stripe and we actually didn't complete it because we threw in the shoulder patch that is usually on their home jersey and away jersey, and we put it on the arm sleeve, and it actually stops the red stripe from going all the way around. I think that's a genius move. The only thing I would have added to this jersey is add a little red stripe on the hem, on the waist of the jersey to break up that black bottom there. It's a little too thick, honestly. I think they could have added maybe some more stripes to the shoulders or the waist there to kind of add some color balance to this jersey. But other than that, this jersey looks awesome. I love the striping on the sleeves. The only thing that's throwing me off is that weird collar thing, but that was the template at the time. I'm trying so hard not to dock points for it. This jersey's going to go into my B tier. All right, and moving on to 2017, we had the clash of the Pennsylvanian. I'm from Pennsylvania. Why can I not come up with a cool thing to say here? The clash of the Quaker State teams. I don't know. We had the Flyers versus the Penguins is what I'm trying to say. And let's start with this Flyers Stadium Series jersey for this year. It is pretty simple. I don't know if this is the first iteration of this black Flyers alternate. It may be. If it is, I have to give it a lot more credit because that's pretty iconic. But we have this really cool Stadium Series patch. I think the Stadium Series patches for both the Flyers and Penguins Stadium Series were some of the coolest of any Stadium Series. We have, just a really simple jersey here. I honestly think, actually looking at this, the Flyers' alternate black jersey that they brought back this season for their new home and away and alternate kits is a throwback to this Stadium Series jersey. So, yes, this is probably where this black jersey has come from, which means we got to show it some love. I'm going to put this Flyers jersey into the A tier. This is a sick jersey. All right, moving on to the Penguins. The Penguins Stadium Series jersey is going to be that yellow construction worker jersey. I have it in my collection. Let me grab it. All right, I legitimately cannot find the Penguins jersey to show you. That's how you know you have too many jerseys in your collection. I'm sure I'll find it later. It's just being smothered up by some other jerseys. But we're talking about this base yellow Penguins jersey. This would be the first iteration of this too, as well as the Flyers. And this thing was ugly. Man. Now, I will say the alternate one that I own, they kind of took away some certain details on this that made it look a little bit better. But whoa, this thing, I mean, the numbers are like football numbers. It's bad. It's got a whole thing going on, and it has this weird like triangle where the captain's patch goes, sublimated, I'm guessing, or maybe it's stitched on. I just can't get over the numbers on this jersey. The numbers are so bad. Like, this jersey is not it. And the Penguins knew that. They quickly moved away from it. They knew they wanted a yellow base, but they knew that this was just, it's too football. And football and NHL don't go together. They just don't. This is not a good jersey by the Penguins. So I'm going to put this one in our C tier. Moving on to 2018. We are getting closer and closer to the current Stadium Series jerseys. So let me know right now at the midpoint here, what do you guys think is the best Stadium Series jersey to ever have been created? Is it one of the 4 jerseys that have just been announced? Is it a classic one from years past? Let me know in the comments what you think the best Stadium Series jersey is. And let's hope that if I haven't ranked it already, I'm going to rank it in S tier because that's what the best one would deserve. So moving on, 2018, we got the Capitals Stadium Series.